told you you're going to take a copy.
Fast.
Really well. I have to say, like, the last few days I've been feeling so good. It's almost like, whoa, like, where is all this energy coming from?
Isn't that great?
Awesome.
Isn't that great
Yeah,
to have more energy than you know what to do with, rather than having
I'm like, what am I gonna do with all this energy? I gotta come up with some projects or something.
Yeah, use it wisely, right? Because a lot of the times we get energy liberated and then we end up putting it back into old negative habits and cycles. Right? And then you see this with a lot of people. It's like that energy gets locked up and then it gets liberated. It's a blessing. So we got to treat that blessing for what it is and really kind of honor it, right? So use the energy wisely.
Yeah, I started running again, which I haven't done in like over a year, and it feels so good. I mean, I love running. Like, the kids get on the school bus at like 7:15, and then I just make myself breakfast, and like I've just been like pacing around the yard barefoot, eating my breakfast slowly, like taking my time. And that's another thing, like, I wasn't eating first thing in the morning before, but I've sort of been trying to train myself to get more used to it. It's like definitely out of my comfort zone, but it's feeling pretty good to do it, because then I'm like, whoa, I suddenly have this like energy burst first thing in the morning.
There you go. So then your energy levels are improving, and then do you find that you're less hungry later in the day?
Yes. I mean, it's a lot easier for me to just cut it off at a certain point and be like, okay. I usually stop eating around like 6. I try to have my last meal between 6 and 7, and then try to be in bed by like 10.
Yeah.
So it's been good, and I've been sleeping better. I mean, I've been trying to just like really focus on sleep. That's been my big focus, and that has a lot to do, I think, with my energy too.
We're here at the Registro Civil. We're getting Ryder his ID. He's a 1.5 years old, and his birth was just registered last week. So he's been off the radar until now. This is only like the 3rd time he's even been to the city here in Loja. He's a little country boy. You want to tell them what happened last time?
It was crazy. We got here early in the morning and we were in line right away, but then we had to go on this extra mission.
No.
Like
the guy downstairs told us that we needed to get a lawyer to notarize a statement saying that he was born here and that we were witnesses.
Because he was born at home, so there was no medical records. We don't have anything from the hospital. So we had to go out of our way to this place.
So we went there and it took like 1.5 hours, or maybe like 2 hours, and the person at the notary said, oh look, here on the website it tells me that you have to get 2 witnesses to sign a notarized thing too. So we actually had to like pay some witnesses from down the street to say that they were there at our birth. It was all this crazy thing to get these papers. And then what happened?
And then we come and we don't even need the papers after all that.
We came here and we went to the little guy over there, and he told us, why did you get these papers? You didn't need these at all. So we spent half a day and like $100 getting these stupid papers stamped at notaries and getting people to sign papers that we didn't even need. And then we ended up getting half the things done that day that we wanted to get done. So now we're here finishing the job, getting his cedula. But we didn't get any extra papers this time.
No.
Check it out.
Wait, look at this, look at these, look at these, look at these. Right here. Muy bien. Gracias. Alright, check it out.
There it is. There you go, Ryder.
Hello, Ryder, who's that?
You're officially a real person now.
No, that's you. Look at it.
We're gonna sign nuestra gente, nuestra identidad. It's kind of a weird saying. Check out this poster right here. Antología del Big Bang. Muy guapo. Successful mission. We did it. Alright. It is, what time is it? Let's see. 11:30. It's 11:36. So we've done everything we wanted to do. Ari, what should we do now?
Let's go see the animals.
No, we're gonna go to the botanical garden.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's go to the botanical garden. Hopefully it's open.
I love botanical gardens, whatever.
Mechanical garden.
Botanical gardens, that's what it is.
It's amazing how clean the air feels here. Even though it's like right on the outskirts of the biggest city around us. Oh, the air just feels so good. It feels so clean. Really cool little spot. Back from Loja, from the city, and I'm gonna have a little mini meal here. I'm doing 3 meals today. Usually I'll do a big breakfast and a big dinner. Today, I'm gonna have a little bit of a lunch. I'm gonna start out by having some of this vinegar that Jessica made. She made a banana vinegar. How do you make banana vinegar, Jessica? Oh, she's not even in here. Oh, there she is! The famous Jessica. How'd you make this banana vinegar?
I mash up 4 cups of banana, ripe banana, and then I add 1/4 cup panela, which is like whole sugar.
Woo!
And then I ferment it in a liter of water.
For like a month.
Yes.
Oh, it's strong. I love it. It's very similar to apple cider vinegar.
You could do
Feels
apple
the
cider
same
vinegar
going
the same
down.
way.
Gets the digestive juices flowing, and yeah, I really like the banana
Check out
vinegar.
how dark it is.
Oh, that's a jar of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sometimes I put hot peppers in here, and then I've also made a batch with cinnamon and star anise.
And banana vinegar is actually really popular in Asia, and also relatively popular here in Ecuador. So I'm gonna have cooked in beautiful grass-fed butter. Look at all this delicious saturated fat, which is an amazing nutrient that the body stores in abundance because it is a very bioavailable and very beneficial source of energy for the body, especially in a ketotic state. So I'm just gonna have 4 eggs cooked in grass-fed butter. Get some of this delicious dietary cholesterol. Am I concerned with high cholesterol due to my free-range organic eggs in my butter and the chocolate that I'm eating? Oh, look at that. Jessica's making a huge batch. She's making a huge batch of chocolate to, she's got a little cottage industry going on here. She sells chocolate around town. But this is a chocolate made with organic Ecuadorian cacao, which you can get on our website now. We finally got chocolate available on our website. We've almost sold out of everything that we had the first batch. All the bars, most of the bars have sold out, but we got some more. It's award-winning chocolate straight from Ecuador. High quality cacao.
Yeah, we're well stocked now.
Yeah, oh wait, nice, cool.
Yeah.
So you can check it out. There'll be a link below in the description. I'll get into the whole cholesterol thing later on, but as those of you who watched my last video, I got my carotid artery exam and not a bit of plaque. perfectly clean carotid arteries. My hemoglobin A1C is very low. My inflammatory markers are all very low. My HDL is great. My triglyceride to HDL ratio is fantastic. But my LDL is high. Now, I'm tempted to go deeper into this now, but I want to eat my lunch. So I'm going to eat some of this delicious cholesterol, and then I'll get into why I'm not concerned about my high cholesterol, and why I would way rather have high cholesterol on a ketogenic diet than have suppressed cholesterol on a vegan diet. Oh goodness, what blasphemy. So I have my meal outside in the sun. I've got my reading material here, and my highlighter, my bowls of food. Turning that beautiful nutrient cholesterol into that sulfated cholesterol gets turned into vitamin D when we go out into the sun. Getting out in the sun, it's far more than just vitamin D too. Like a lot of people think that you could just supplement vitamin D, never get out in the sun. It's far more than that. Those red frequencies in the sun, especially in the AM hours, are highly anti-inflammatory, very, very beneficial for mitochondrial function, help with collagen synthesis, all sorts of amazing beneficial effects are given to us through red light. That's why you see me laying in front of that big old panel of red light like a crazy person all the time, because red light therapy is one of the most powerful things that I've ever discovered to boost mood, to improve performance, and health in general. So getting out in the sun, getting out into natural light throughout the day, and at night avoiding artificial light can greatly improve all of our biomarkers through improving our circadian rhythm and our sleep. Get outside, get in the sun, don't be a basement dweller. Get outside. If you're working in an office or something, just getting outside for like 5 to 10 minutes a day, taking a quick walk around the building. This is something I like to work with clients on, and something we really focus on in the Keto Collective, which we're halfway through, almost 3/4 of the way through the April session. And it's just been awesome. We've got such a cool group of people with different experiences, with different lifestyles. One of the overarching themes that we like to focus on is light exposure. Looking at light as a nutrient. Looking at light as something that is as important as our diet for our health and our well-being. So yeah, the Keto Collective has been really fun this month. We've got a lot of really awesome people. Shout out to everybody who joined the Keto Collective in April. So the next Keto Collective session, that's starting in June. And enrollment is open now for the June session of the Keto Collective. It's a 4-week community coaching session where not only do you have full access to us to answer whatever questions you have, not only are we going to help you learn how to formulate your diet, how to manipulate your macronutrients long term in order to achieve your goals, whether the goal be fat loss, lean muscle gain, or just overall health and weight maintenance. We've got loads of people doing the course for all kinds of different reasons. We got people who are super fit and athletic. We've got coaches who want to learn how to implement a ketogenic diet for their own clients, and we've got loads of people, of course, doing keto for the classic fat loss that it's so great for bringing about. So even if you're in an office, you can always cruise outside, eat your lunch on a bench in the park. Getting outside in the daylight, very, very important for reducing inflammation, for setting your circadian rhythm, producing vitamin D, and really beneficial for mood and health in general.
I was just like my dad, okay? 10 luxury cars. My dad told me I had the same name as him until I legally changed it. My mom did not bail me out of jail when she knew I was innocent. I'm liberating over 70 billion pigs in cages so small they cannot move for years, okay? I work. My mom's a sociopathic piece of I have the highest score in Hard or Not history. I got 9.9 out of 10 after 327 women rated me. Let's see your talent. Let's see your talent, you ugly piece of
Okay, stop.
The restaurant. Yeah, what happened was 2 breeders brought their children to a vegan restaurant with them. Their 1-year-old kid was screaming at the top of his lungs. Jasmine went over and told them to keep their kid under control, and then they started a big fight with us. They were the most self-entitled douchebags I've ever met. He was getting aggressive with you, and he started screaming at me too, so I challenged him to a fight outside, and then after that he kind of started acting more polite.
The children are not asking you to bring them into the fucking world.
Well, definitely. what's having a child really going to do for you? It's not going to give you extra free time. It's not going to give you extra money. Yeah, again, like, why would you want to do that? I like having free time. I like being able to play video games whenever I want, go out whenever I want. I just like having a freaking life to myself. And just having extra money. I mean,
you can save up so much easier.
God damn, can you ever?
Yeah.
Like, the amount of extra money
I think
have.
you easily spend the money of a house on a child.
Totally.
Especially if it's like one that has special needs.
Yeah, we got this guy. We do sort of have a baby, but, you know, they're kind of less maintenance than actual human children.
Definitely. Like, I want to spend my time devoted to animals and helping them. I don't want to waste my time to a child.
Yeah, and and speaking of devoting your time to children, like, do you want to clean diapers? We recently just got 2 motorcycles, you know, which are freaking expensive, and if we had children, we probably wouldn't be able to afford them. And if we had kids, we probably wouldn't be able to ride around as much as we do either.
We wouldn't be able to do anything with kids.
Yeah, like, do you want to clean diapers, or do you want to ride motorcycles?
High cholesterol on a ketogenic diet. First of all, I'm not a doctor, this isn't medical advice, I'm just telling you my opinions about cholesterol, the ultimate boogeyman of modern medicine, and the ultimate straw man that the vegan trolls love to pick apart. Not even pick apart, they just parrot. Oh, cholesterol's bad, cholesterol's bad. The WHO says so, the UN says so, the American Medical Association says so, the pharmaceutical companies say so. Cholesterol is bad. There's this circular logic that goes on too. It's so hilarious. Like, they'll say, oh, well, if cholesterol's not bad, then why do statins lower the risk of heart attacks and heart disease? Which is a totally retarded, degenerate circular argument, because the measurement that these pharmaceutical companies are using for risk factors of heart disease are, guess what? Total cholesterol levels and LDL cholesterol. So it's circular logic. It's like, well, if cholesterol is bad, why do statins help improve risk for heart disease? Well, because you're assuming a false risk factor, LDL cholesterol. Do your own research. Come up with your own opinion. If you think I'm lying, if you think I'm full of shit, hey, go prove it to yourself. So anyways, statins are the most popular drugs ever. Statins are the most prescribed drugs right now. This is all due to the assumption that cholesterol is bad. The cholesterol hypothesis started using what has now been proven to be faulty science, right? They were doing experiments on rabbits where they gave rabbits a bunch of dietary cholesterol, and they found out that these rabbits, which are not omnivores, not carnivorous animals, these are herbivores. They gave a straight up herbivore, which has no genetic relationship to human beings, a bunch of dietary cholesterol, and guess what they found? They ended up finding that through elevating their serum cholesterol levels, they could create lesions in their heart. So, the assumption was made, through lots of money, many millions of dollars later, that cholesterol is bad and we have to suppress cholesterol. Meats, fish, eggs, all of these foods went on the naughty list. But luckily, big industry, big agriculture, and big pharma had the answers for us, right? They figured out the problem. And of course, they came with a nice prepackaged solution. What's that solution? Well, it was what was called the Green Revolution. The Green Revolution sounds great, right? Like progress, freedom, and democracy. And all these feel-good terms, they get used to hypnotize us. So the Green Revolution was essentially the complete takeover of the entire food supply of the Western world by massive conglomerates and corporations like Monsanto, Cargill, and the Green Revolution ended up essentially depopulating a lot of the rural areas, moving farming away from small family farms and into a paradigm of factory farming. Commercialized factory farms, which nobody can deny that the factory farming system is completely twisted and is incredibly detrimental to communities, to our health, and to the environment in general.
Right? Government subsidies started going into corn, wheat, and soy. Glyphosate-drenched crops flooded the markets in the United States and much of the Western world. But guess what? Didn't do anything to stop starvation and hunger in third world countries that it was forced upon. So these big NGOs and these governments and these supra-governmental organizations and the UN pushed the Green Revolution through India, through much of the United States, through much of the world, and flooded the market with wheat, corn, and soy. So now most of the cattle are fed wheat, corn, and soy. Most of the human cattle, which this is how these companies see you, they see you as cattle. These pharmaceutical companies, big agriculture companies, Monsanto, Cargill, these companies look at you as things to harvest for profit. Why do you think it was a recent news story, for whatever reason, that Goldman Sachs was asking a big biotech company if it's really in their best interest to cure any diseases, which obviously it's not. Modern medicine, allopathic medicine, it's not in the best interest of pharmaceutical companies to cure anything. In fact, it's illegal to say you can cure things. But that's beside the point. So, the lipid hypothesis, the cholesterol hypothesis, has been discredited in so many different ways. But let's go through some of the reasons why I'm not afraid of having high cholesterol in the context of having very low hemoglobin A1C, very low inflammatory markers, very low fasting blood glucose, low insulin levels constantly, and excellent biomarkers, high testosterone, everything across the board looking good except LDL cholesterol. My LDL cholesterol was 392, which this vegans say, that's off the charts, that's so bad, it's so bad, you're gonna die. Let's talk about why I'm not worried at all. This is a study done, a national study, concluded that nearly 75% of patients hospitalized for heart attack had cholesterol levels that would indicate they are not at high risk for a cardiovascular event. So how do we explain that? Cholesterol levels aren't even good at predicting heart attacks. People with low cholesterol still get heart attacks. Here's a study showing that people who do have heart attacks, right? So even if the people that love to comment on my videos telling me that I need to die because I'm eating animal products and that my heart's gonna explode, even though I can't find any of this so-called atherosclerotic plaque in my carotid artery exam, they're telling me I'm gonna die. It's a ticking time bomb to have that cholesterol in your blood. For people who do have heart attacks, guess what? Those who have low cholesterol have much higher risk of dying. So people who do have heart attacks, if you suppress your cholesterol level and have low cholesterol, it's more likely that you're gonna freaking die. So why does it make sense to suppress cholesterol? First of all, there's no association between high cholesterol levels and heart attack patients, as shown in the scientific literature. And second of all, for those who do have heart attacks, the ones with high cholesterol survive more. That's just ridiculous. I mean, not only is low cholesterol associated with higher all-cause mortality rates from stroke, heart disease, and cancer. Right, so here's a study. 12,334 healthy adults from 40 to 69 underwent mass screening examination. Serum total cholesterol was measured by an enzymatic method. The conclusions were low cholesterol was related to high mortality, even after excluding deaths due to liver disease from the analysis. High cholesterol was not a risk factor for mortality. So not only was high cholesterol not associated with more death, low cholesterol levels are associated with higher all-cause mortality rates. And this is the same in studies done in Japan and in Norway as well. So what is going on here? Why are we still focused on suppressing cholesterol levels? Why are we just focused on this one biomarker through which you can diagnose almost anybody as being high risk for heart disease? I don't know. All I know is it seems to be really, really profitable because Lipitor is the most profitable drug ever invented by man. So, not only if you have low cholesterol do you die more, not only if you have low cholesterol do you not gain as much muscle mass, right? Not only are you at risk for more sarcopenia and brain disorders, but also you're more at risk for depression. How crazy is that? The Psychology Today article from James Greenblatt, MD. And I'm not saying that social science and psychology and psychiatry are legitimate sciences, but this is really, really interesting that low cholesterol levels are highly associated with suicide rates. Higher suicide rates are associated with low cholesterol, but also violent crime and impulsive behavior, including violence, is associated with low cholesterol levels. What the heck is going on here? You understand what I'm getting at? Low cholesterol is associated with depression among U.S. household population. Whoa, how interesting. Higher all-cause mortality if you have low cholesterol. If you do have a heart attack, you're more likely to die if you have low cholesterol, and having high LDL cholesterol doesn't even associate with more heart attacks. If you've got low cholesterol, if you're eating a vegan diet, you're more at risk of nutrient deficiencies from things like DHA, vitamin D, zinc, iron, iodine, lots of B vitamins, including vitamin B12, vitamin K2, vitamin A. All these fat-soluble vitamins are not going to be found on a low cholesterol vegan diet that it gets promoted in mainstream media, through the United Nations, through the WHO, and through these trusted health authorities at groups like the American Heart Association and the American Medical Association. So, those are just some of the reasons why I'm not concerned with having high cholesterol when my hemoglobin A1C is perfect, my inflammatory markers are super low, my testosterone is better than it's been in the past, from eating a very high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet for the last 5 years. 5 years on a keto diet. In the last few months, I've been eating almost zero vegetables. How crazy is that? Yet, all my biomarkers are incredible, except LDL cholesterol, which is right in line with what many people notice on a low-carbohydrate diet. So in the absence of high insulin, in the absence of elevated blood glucose throughout the day, in the absence of elevated inflammatory markers, I'm not concerned at all with my LDL cholesterol being high. My triglyceride HDL ratio is perfect, and most importantly, my carotid artery exam showed that my pipes are perfectly clean. So anyways, I'm gonna keep living my life. I'm gonna keep enjoying my diet. I'm gonna keep fueling my body with fats. I'm gonna keep giving my body the delicious animal products that it was raised on and that it deserves. I'm not going to let the Stasi of internet veganism push this social engineering agenda on me and my family. I'm probably gonna have some delicious steak for dinner, cook it in some amazing grass-fed butter, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day and watch the sunset here with my family. So go live your life. Get off freaking social media. Quit arguing about nonsense. Quit paying attention to the crap you're fed on television, and understand that our diet and our lifestyle and our health is informed by far more than just what we eat. Right? It's not just what you put in your mouth. What about what you let through your ears? What about what you let through your eyes? What about what you let into your heart? All right, go live your life. Get off social media. Get away from the television. Stop letting this bullshit programming break up you and your communities and your families. Connect with your neighbors, look people in the eyes, and look yourself in the eyes. There's far more going on here than most of us realize. Go live.
I've got one that can see.